Hello everyone! In this video I will be presenting to you how the system is played and the basics of a character. The system is a D20 based system, which means most rolls are done using the 20-sided dice. Rolling skill checks, saving throws, attack rolls and initiative rolls is pretty straightforward by using the aforementioned D20. While damage and some other features use different sided dice, and it is always stated which dice to use. When you make any kind of roll or check using the D20, you add a certain modifier to it. The higher the roll, the better the outcome. Which modifier to use will also always be stated. Sometimes you are allowed to roll twice and choose the higher number. This is called an advantage, while rolling twice and having to roll the lower number is called disadvantage. There are two roles. The first is the Game Master. They will prepare the game and play all the NPCs, non-playable characters, and monsters you encounter on your journey. The GM is neither to be seen as the enemy nor as the god of the world. They provide the knowledge for the rules, the players with a world to explore, enemies to fight, and NPCs to talk to. The player is the second role. They will be playing one character at a time and decide on behalf of their character what routes to take, which story plot to follow, what dangers to get in or stay out of, and where to spend all the money. It is important for both to have a fun time. This is a cooperative game after all, not a game to see who is the best. Decide what kind of game you want to play. There are many possibilities, from dungeon delving, adventuring and exploration, to political intrigue, wars and rebellions. Explore what you enjoy the most when playing a TTRPG. Is it the roleplay, combat, puzzles, mysteries, or a mix of them all? Find a group which shares the same interests. Make sure to discuss these details during session 0, as well as what is expected from the GM and from the players. Creating a character. A character consists out of levels, abilities, skills, professions, alignments, cultures, species, classes, and backgrounds. The latter four will be discussed in more detail in another video. A character's level goes from level 1 to level 20, although it is possible to start the game at level 0 and play up to level 30. These options are loosely supported and are another way to play the game. Leveling up can be done in two ways. Milestone leveling is controlled by the GM, and every time the GM thinks the party has succeeded in another mission, finished another chapter of the story, defeated the big bad, or any other reason, they can level up the player's characters. The higher level one becomes, the more needs to be done to level up. XP leveling is by keeping track of experience points. These XP can be gained by killing monsters, successfully infiltrating a building, surviving a difficult encounter, finishing a mission, or any other number of reasons. This allows the players to have a rough overview to when they will level up next. The GM can decide for themselves which level up system to use. Both are certainly supported by the system by giving examples and estimates. Abilities. A character consists out of 6 ability scores. These are Strength, Dexterity, Constitution, Wisdom, Intelligence, and Charisma. These define the rough outline of your character and what they are good at. How you will implement these ability scores into character design or roleplay is totally up to you. A high Charisma character does not automatically have to be charming and well versed with words. Just like a high Strength-based character does not need to be punching everyone around them. Ability scores can range from 1 to 30. But the average score would be around a 10, as it provides a 0 as its modifier. The higher the better, of course. There are many ways to gain these 6 ability scores. Many are provided by the system itself. Locked scores, which provide you with 6 scores that you can freely add to any ability of your choice. Score points, which provide you with a number of points you can spend in each ability score to either increase or decrease the chosen ability. D6 Locked allows you to roll the 6-sided dice 4 times and add the resulting number of the 3 highest rolls together. You can do this 6 times and thus gain your 6 ability scores, which you have to apply in order of the abilities. D6 Free is similar to the D6 Locked, but you can choose freely in which ability to apply your rolled scores. The D20 Madness allows you to roll 7 20-sided dice and dropping the lowest. This gives you the most variety in scores, from extremely good to extremely bad. Use with caution. Additionally, you can trade being inefficient in a skill for 1 additional score point in any ability of your choice. As you have seen, every way for getting your ability scores has a hardcore and heroic variation. These are difficulties and will be expanded upon in a separate video. Proficiencies, inefficiencies, and expertise. Proficiencies, inefficiencies, and expertise define how well or how badly you can do a specific task. This can be skills, using a weapon or tool, speaking a language, fighting in armor, etc. Each of these 3 have a modifier attached to them, which gets better or less bad during level ups. The idea is to generally become better over time, even in the skills you are usually bad at. Proficiency is the most gained modifier on skills and all sorts of equipment and languages. Inefficiencies are only used on skills, while expertise can only be applied to things you are already proficient in. You can learn new skills and become proficient in them, enhance your proficiency and gain expertise, or remove an inefficiency on a skill by using the downtime system. Downtimes, like most other things, will be discussed in another video. Skills. There are 30 skills which are all categorized to a specific ability. I will explain them step by step for each ability score. An ability score modifier will be added to any skill which is part of the same ability category. Strength. These skills are based on the physical strength of a character. Athletics are for any heavy-duty checks, like lifting, pulling, or pushing heavy objects. Climbing is for prolonged climbing of a tree, mountain, or cliff face. Frighten is for scaring a creature merely based on your physical strong appearance. Swimming is for prolonged swimming, especially in rough waters such as strong rivers or the open ocean. Dexterity. These skills are based on your agility, flexibility, and speed. Acrobatics are for any quick movements across or atop objects, like free running, doing flashy stunts, or balance yourself or squeeze through tight spaces. Piloting is for controlling any kind of animal or vehicle. You can generally be proficient in the skill or only proficient for a particular vehicle or animal. Performance checks are for any flashy dance moves, playing music, singing, or acrobatics, and see how much the audience is enthralled by it. Sleight of hand is for nicking a gold coin or 2 from someone's pocket, secretly casting a spell, or handing over an object to another ally. Stealth checks are for sneaking around quietly and hiding in your surroundings. Constitution. The only skill for Constitution is Endurance, which is about enduring physical stress, like holding a heavy object for a long time, being out in the open when it's ice cold or burning hot, or how long you can hold your breath while underwater or in a smoke-filled room. Intelligence. Intelligence skills are based on book-learned knowledge and remembering set knowledge. Arcana is the teaching of the arcane, the magical force, knowing what spell has been cast, what type of spell it is, components a spell might need, or seeing through an illusion. Engineering is about creating schematics for all sorts of machinery, weapons, and potions, as well as trying to figure out what machines do and how to hack them. Culture is for knowing the customs or moralities of a culture, knowing their ways and days of celebration. Fauna is all about animals and monsters, how much you know about their physique, living standards, eating habits, and other features. History checks are about your knowledge of the past, events long past or recently occurred, and how well you remember them. Investigation is about checking for small clues, such as fingerprints, cigarette butts laying around, and the way paper lays on the floor, and trying to get a mental image of what might have occurred in this place. Language is for knowing what language is spoken and even trying to understand the spoken language. It can be used to decipher written text and identifying its origin. Flora is all about plants and fungi, their habitation, uses for potions, medicine, and food, and which are dangerous and good to avoid. Religion checks are for understanding the rites of a religion, knowing its symbolism, and which deity they worship. Wisdom. These skills are based on your general knowledge, which need quick thinking and is mainly based on your past experiences. Animal handling checks are determined how well you can connect with an animal, tell it what to do, or simply gaining its trust. Insight is for roughly knowing a person's intent. You look for clues in their mimic, facial expression, and gestures. Medicine is for knowing a person's injuries, healing said injuries, knowing diseases and curses, as well as to see if a prone creature might still be alive, and if not, of what they have died from. Perception checks are for checking out your surroundings, and either if you see, hear, or smell anything specific or odd, mainly seeing things and identifying them from a distance. Survival is for knowing your way around nature. When is it going to rain? What kind of tracks there are and how to follow them, and navigating through thick jungles, open deserts, and dense metropoles. Charisma. Charisma skills are for social encounters with other creatures. Deception is for deceiving someone from your true intentions or lying about your whereabouts or identity. Disguise checks are for situations in which you have to act well in a disguise. This can be a simple guard or mimicking a specific person's speech pattern. Distraction is about how well you can distract a person during conversation without them getting suspicious about your intent to distract them from something else. Intimidation is your ability to intimidate a person by your charm or malicious way of threatening the person. Leader checks are for inspiring your companions, leading an army into battle, or bring morale back when all seems lost. Persuasion is for persuading a character of your true intentions, to bargain with a traitor, or winning someone's loyalty, friendship, or de-escalating a tense situation. You gain proficiency in a number of skills through your culture, species, classes, and background. You can always use a skill even if you're not proficient or even inefficient with it. Professions and hobbies. These two skills are additions to the 30 skills presented previously. A profession is something your character has done for a long period of time, mostly professionally. A profession can't be something like a smith, more so a swordsmith, a locksmith, a goldsmith, etc. It needs to be a very specific description of a job. When doing any kind of skill check, and your profession might have something to do with it, for example making a history check about the sword while being a swordsmith, allows you to add the profession modifier to the role. A profession modifier is equal to the proficiency modifier. A hobby is a toned down version of a profession. Something that you have great interest in, but only had a limited amount of time to really look into the topic. A hobby gets half of the proficiency modifier. The last part of a character for this video is the alignment. Unlike the usual 9-section alignment, I have gone in a different direction. Because cultures can perceive different things as morally good or bad, the alignment in this system cares more about a character's personality. There are 6 main categories. Openness. Characters that are open about the world and have a rather neutral view of it. They are open about their opinions, themselves, and the judgment of others. Sub-alignments are expressive, inclusive, receptive, open-minded, imaginative, and adventurousness. Conscientiousness. Characters which are extremely organized and tidy, self-controlled, disciplined, and calculating, good at making strategies for all sorts of situations. Sub-alignments are organized, dutiful, self-disciplined, and lawful. Extraversion. Characters which are highly energetic, sociable, and friendly, usually defined as a people's person. Sub-alignments are gregarious, assertive, active, dareful, reckless, and smooth-talking. Agreeableness. Characters which are very trusting, warm, friendly, and tactful. They are generally seeing the world in an optimistic light. Sub-alignments are trust, straightforward, altruistic, cooperative, modesty, sympathetic, and tender-minded. Neuroticism. Characters are sometimes emotionally unstable and care mostly about their emotions, keeping control, and being stable. Sub-alignments are anxiety, anger, depression, self-conscious, impulsive, and vulnerable. Narcissism. Characters which have an inflated sense of oneself, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration. Sub-alignments are self-important, entitlement, determined, monopolizing, exploiting, envious, and arrogant. Each character chooses one main category, which describes their character the most, while choosing 3 additional sub-alignments from any category, of which one needs to be of the chosen main category. These should get yourself and your GM a rough idea how the character would act in certain situations. The alignment is mostly seen as a guideline rather than a strict rule. You certainly can divert from your chosen alignment in all kinds of situations. This is the rough outline of the system's baseline and character creation. If you would like to know more about one specific topic mentioned in this video, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to answer it in the comment section or even make an entire video for it. Thank you very much for watching, good gaming, and see you next time.